Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. Today is the collective gallery where you submitted your photos and I featured them in today's video. So we have plenty of submissions today, all beautiful pictures, and I'm so happy that you guys are sharing these pictures because they are very motivating. They make me want to go out and take more pictures, practice my photography skill so that I will become better as a photographer, and hopefully these pictures will also inspire you guys as well. And if you want to join, simply just go to this link right here to submit your photo and I will feature your photos on the next video. Anyway, let's start with the first picture. First photo is by Deano. Oh my god, such a beautiful picture of Las Vegas. I think this has a lot of interesting things going on and it has a certain kind of vibe. But anyway, let me read a little bit from what Deano says. You can find him on Instagram at DeNoble1970. The title of the photo is Fremont Street Neon. Lumix G9 and 20mm f1.7, ISO 250, 320 shutter speed, f2. Wow, that's a great setting. I mean, this looks like a low light photo, but you were able to just use ISO 250 and a relatively fast shutter speed. So interesting setting right there. And a little bit of the comment. Las Vegas vacation. I was trying to experiment with low light and keep the files clean. Later on in the evening as light dropped, I was relying on the eyepiece more, but here there was enough light in the sky. I just love the neon and the vibe down on Fremont Street. Yes, beautiful photo. And yeah, turned out that the setting isn't too extreme. Before I looked at the comment that you made, I thought this was shot at ISO 1600 or something like that because it was already dark in the evening. But my goodness, beautiful. I love all of the lights that are happening and how busy the streets are, and you know, all of the signage of the buildings, stuff like that. I visited Las Vegas many years ago. I've already kind of forget how Las Vegas kind of looked, but yeah, this is a great photo capturing the vibe of Las Vegas streets, and I really think this is beautiful. Makes me want to go out and try to take some street photo. Congratulations, Deano, a really great photo. Next photo is from Swagat, as you can see right here. Beautiful photo on the desert with the camel and that person right there, and also the overall color, which is giving a certain kind of mood and vibe that's very reminiscent from a desert. Now let's read a little bit from his comment. The title of the photo is Desert Vibes. Exactly, yeah, that's the right title right there. And the camera, Lumix GF7 with 12 to 32mm kit lens. Excellent choice. You know, with the kit lens you can capture something this beautiful. Manual mode auto ISO. He doesn't provide the shutter speed and aperture, but I can definitely say that this is blur free. There's no movement check whatsoever. So nicely done. This was captured November 2025 in Rajasthan, India. Found a sand dune in the middle of the road. The camel was waiting to be photographed, balancing the exposure as it was shot in broad daylight, and the screen wouldn't let me see the composition clearly. So yeah, that's the challenge, trying to see the LCD screen without EVF during bright condition. So I kind of understand why people really need EVF on their cameras. But anyway, a really nice picture right here, Swagat. I really love the composition, but what really jumps out from this picture for me personally is the color and the contrast. It really gives me that mood, that vibe, and you know, pictures like this can really help to encapsulate a moment in time and make you feel something in your emotions, in your feeling. And yeah, that's what it's all about, you know, make you feel something, maybe inspire you to capture similar stuff or be inspired to, you know, do something else. But again, great photo. Thank you for sharing. Next photo is by Rich, this photo right here, and right away this is very interesting. You know, it made me laugh seeing a banana right in the middle of the frame, and it was yellow while the other stuffs that are going on the picture are black and white. So yeah, good job, Rich. I think this is a nice photograph. You can find Rich on the link Instagram that he provided. But anyway, the title of the photo is Flying Banana, Panasonic G80 f8.877. I'm not quite sure about the aperture. Maybe it's something kind of small, f8, something like that. 500 shutter speed, quite fast, 56mm ISO 200. I was at a music festival last year and watching lots of people crowd surfing and taking a lot of pics. When looking back at my photos, later I saw a banana flying over the crowd. So this is quite a coincidence, but a really good one. I mean, this is kind of a one in a million kind of thing. I'm quite sure that the banana flying thing was happening at a split second, and if you weren't capturing photos, maybe you won't be able to spot it at all. You know, it's funny, sometimes I spend a lot of time in one location, you know, trying to photograph the perfect scenery, and I remember a lot about what was happening in that location. So when I look back at my photograph, I can remember my feeling, how I feel about the scenery, what was happening, how cold or how hot it is, where was the sun, what am I hearing, stuff like that. But on photos like this, which I sometimes captured as well, you know, coincidence, things that are happening very quickly, you won't remember a lot of things happening, especially the banana right here. I'm quite sure Rich won't remember about the banana during the music festival. But when you look back at it, it's kind of surprising in a good way, you know, make you laugh. Anyway, Rich, really nice photo. Thank you for submitting. Next photo is from Addy. I will put the picture right now, and as you can see, very beautiful photo. And right away, there are some things that are very interesting to my eyes. You can see there are two guys walking from the left side of the image, and they're about to walk into the right side of the image. So that indicates a sense of journey in the photo. I like that. I like that the picture is able to tell a little bit of a story. And then the waves back there, the wide big wave that's about to crash really soon. You know, I can kind of already imagine the scenery in my head. I can imagine the sound that I will be hearing when looking at this scene, like the waves crashing sound, and then the two guys walking on the sand, the sound of their feet touching the sand, kind of thing, with a little bit of water on their feet as well. It really, you know, encapsulates this moment really well, and I was able to imagine the scenery in my head, hearing the sounds, feeling the wind on my skin, that kind of thing. That's very nice. That's what photography is all about, making people feel something. And yeah, good job, Addy, for capturing this photo. Anyway, I won't read the whole thing because it's quite long, but the title of the photo is Surfers in New York. The camera that was being used is OM3 with the 14 to 140mm Mark II at 140mm. Full manual, 5000 shutter speed, that's really fast, f5.6 ISO 320. This was captured in Long Beach, New York at around 4 p.m. Yeah, there was a little bit of talks about, you know, trying to get inspired by people surfing so that he want to be motivated to surf again. Yeah, that's really nice. And also a little bit of the story of how it was happening, the situation, the weather when he was capturing the photo. That was really nice. You guys can read the comment right there. And I want to emphasize a little bit of the challenge. He said that the part of the challenge was balancing the contrast between the wide crashing wave and the darkness of their wetsuit, as well as getting low enough because the angle of the beach was much higher than the water. To be honest, I could have got closer and widened the focal length a little bit, but I was actually shooting elsewhere when I saw these two guys. Yeah, I love the contrast as well. The two guys are wearing black wetsuit while the waves that are about to crash are white. So yeah, nice interplay between shadow and highlight and composition as well, getting low on the ground as you said right there. Yeah, excellent photo, Addy. I really love this. This can invoke some kind of emotional feelings, and I can kind of imagine the scenery in my head, all the feelings, you know, the wind, the breeze touching my skin, hearing the sound of the waves, that kind of sound. Yeah, excellent job. Next photo is by RogueSplice, and yeah, RogueSplice already uploaded on the previous episodes, and yeah, you can find RogueSplice on the link that he provided. But right away, beautiful picture of long exposure waterfall and river with the cooler tone and also the greeneries. I love this. The balance between the colors and the composition, and also the sense of flow from the waterfall into the river. You know, all of these are really great, and I just enjoy this photo so much. It feels very calming in terms of emotion, and compositionally it's just top notch. Anyway, the title of the photo, McGarry Creek. I'm not quite sure that it's really McGarry Creek. I think this is another of your Gary joke, RogueSplice. Let me know in the comment down below, by the way. But anyway, the camera, he used the GX85 lens, Olympus 17mm f1.2, camera mode, full manual, ISO 200, shutter speed, an 1/8 of a second, aperture f5.6. The location, see, it's McDowell Creek in Oregon. It's not McGarry. So this was captured, you know, around, you know, January 2025. And this is what he said. The upper falls at this location is a must catch when the water levels are decent. I have done shots at this location with 16 megapixel, 20 megapixel and 25 megapixel sensors from Micro Four Thirds cameras. All look good, but indeed I had different results. Yes, I want to emphasize that not all cameras are the same, even though they are all Micro Four Thirds. GX85 showed me that the 16 megapixel sensor works great. I think the GX85 has its own style and has a great look like all the camera sensors. Choosing your focal length is the biggest decision for this spot. I've used the 42.5mm that worked really well, but this time I wanted a wider shot, so I used the 17mm and it came out nicely. I may try the 12 and 20 with a different camera at some point here too. I want to emphasize some important points that RogueSplice made on this photo. First of all, even though we are all using Micro Four Thirds cameras with similar megapixels, 16 or sometimes 20 or even 25, you know, they're all different. I agree with RogueSplice. Back then, I have the Olympus EPL6. And I also have the Panasonic Lumix GH7, and now I have the GX85, and now I have the GX850 or the GF9. They're all 16 megapixel Micro Four Thirds sensor, but they all look different. Even GX7 with the GX85, or maybe my GX85 with my GF9 or GX850, they both share the same sensor, but the image turns out to be different. And recently I got a G100. My G100, although it's the same Panasonic Lumix Micro Four Thirds camera, even though it's 20 megapixel. When you compare the photo with other Panasonic Lumix Micro Four Thirds cameras that I have, my GX85, my GF9, it is completely different. It is more contrasty. I swear that I can see some difference right there. So yeah, I kind of agree with what RogueSplice said. And also in terms of focal length, yeah, I can see that, you know, with a tighter focal length, you'll be able to focus more on the waterfall itself and try to get a more abstract landscape kind of shot. But as it is right now with the 17, I think it looks beautiful. And again, photography is about having fun, enjoying a little bit of photography time out and about in the field, and trying to experiment with some stuff. So yeah, let me know if you already tried with the 20 or 12mm RogueSplice. I'd like to see that. Next photo is from Ali Farsani. You can find Ali at his Instagram at Farsani Photo. And right away, a beautiful photo of a flower, you know, with the pink accents here and there, and also green backgrounds, that kind of stuff. Very beautiful, very nice combinations of color. Now let's read a little bit from his comment. The title of the photo is Father's Love. Wow, this is interesting because this is a photo of a flower. I'd love to learn more about the story. Sometimes the picture might tell a different story, not about the subject of the photo, but about a moment that is happening in your life. And that's really great. That's another purpose of a photograph, to remind you of a certain moment in your life that is very interesting, or maybe you want to remember. But anyway, he was capturing this with EM5 Mark II with the kit lens at 35mm f4. This was in Toronto, Canada, August 2025, while walking my kids to a park. That's why he named it Father's Love. He was together with his kids and he was walking on the park. Yeah, nice story. But anyway, photo is not edited in any shape or form. I love how beautiful Olympus captures the real life colors. Fuji and Canon are not even close to this brilliant color science. Capturing the moment in your head way before picking up your camera. That's the challenge of this photo. So yeah, I can agree. Sometimes capturing JPEG with your camera and seeing the colors, you can appreciate the beauty of the colors, of the accents that it makes, you know. Not everything has to be Fujifilm when it comes to JPEG. Sometimes Olympus JPEGs are also great. Sometimes even my Panasonic Lumix JPEGs are also great looking as well. However, I'm afraid to shoot JPEG. Maybe that will change soon. I will set one of my cameras to shoot only JPEG, because right now all of my pictures are always raw. But yeah, this motivates me to capture in JPEG. But yeah, really nice photograph. I love the balance of the composition, where the flower is heading, and also the colors, and also the background blur as well. You mentioned it was captured at f4, but everything looks dreamy and nice. So yeah, great job Ali, thank you for submitting. Next photo is by Addy again. And right away, beautiful street photograph of a woman wearing traditional Japanese clothes in this vintage, old school kind of looking Japanese neighborhood right here. Very beautiful. It tells a lot of story and it's very peaceful, it's very quiet. Let's read a little bit about the comment from Addy. The title is Finding Serenity in Over-Tourism. The camera he used is the OM3 14-140 Mark II again at 65mm, full manual, 1000 shutter speed, f5.3, ISO 200. I completely agree with the title, Finding Serenity in Over-Tourism. In Japan right now, it's very busy with lots of tourists, so being able to capture a nice, peaceful, quiet neighborhood like this is very special in my opinion. Anyway, you can read the comments from Addy. I will provide the picture right now so you can read the comments. But anyway, I want to emphasize some important points. First of all, he's trying to not be rude, he's trying to be stealthy and also polite as well. I think that is very important for street photography, as indicated on the second paragraph that he wrote right there. Interesting thing about this photo, according to Addy, is that there are still people in the community that wears the traditional clothing, and also there are backdrops of traditional village like what he captured in this photo. So it kind of gives that old times kind of vibe. I agree with what Addy said. Yeah, it gives a certain kind of mood, and sometimes that's what you really want from a photograph, for your photograph to, you know, evokes a certain kind of emotion or feeling, makes you feel something. I think that's very important. Challenge, he mentioned, timing was indeed crucial, as there were still other people and other tourists walking around. Not a second after I took this when a group of people walked into view in the background. So yeah, again, timing is everything. And that's why I'm a big advocate of setting your camera to be a set and forget kind of, you know, camera. So you want to be able to point and shoot quickly. So for me personally, maybe I will set my camera to shutter priority or something like that. But for Addy, he shot in full manual, so great job. Anyway, nice picture, Addy. This is really a good one. Thank you for submitting. Anyway, allow me to share my own photo in this episode. So as you can see right there, there are two mountains. On the left is Mount Merbabu, that's about 2 or 3 hours drive from here. And on the right is Mount Merapi volcano that you guys seen so many times on my other videos. This is the volcano that's very near to my home, just about 1 hour drive from here. And in 2025, this volcano is really shy. It was cloudy most of the time. You cannot really see the summit. But a few days ago, I believe it was Monday, I was doing a little bit of a photo and video project in the office, trying to make an advertisement for our promotional kind of video and material for our social media. And I saw on the window, oh, that's beautiful. I can see the mountains, I can see the volcanoes right now, and I want to capture them. And because I was shooting advertising at that moment, I brought my camera with me, which was the G85. So I went over the window really quickly and tried to open the glass, and then I captured this photo with my G85 and the 12 to 40mm f2.8. And yeah, I was quite lucky. I can see the Merapi volcano summits really clearly, and also Mount Merbabu at the same time, with a little bit of Yogyakarta as some sort of the foreground right there. But yeah, some things that I want to emphasize from this photo is that maybe I can get a better viewpoint, because at my office we have some other spots where you can see the mountains right there on the upper floors and things like that. But this is all about timing, because after I captured these shots, 5 minutes later it was raining. So when I spent the time to go upstairs, try to look for another window and try to capture these photos, maybe by that time it was already cloudy and I would miss this photo. So it's all about, capturing moments, being able to react quickly to seeing interesting moments like this with your camera and stuff like that. And I want to emphasize that that's why I use micro four thirds. It's always ready at all times to capture all sorts of photograph, and without my micro four thirds camera, it'll be difficult to capture this photo right here with this kind of quality. Of course, I can capture it with my phone, but it's not going to look as great as this one. Anyway, that wraps up today's episode of Collective Gallery. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, fun, and more importantly, inspiring, not just for you, but also for me. Makes me want to go out and take more pictures. All of the photos submitted today are excellent. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and yeah, I'll wait for the next submission. If you guys want to join the Collective Gallery, here's the link. You can also go to the description below if you want the clickable link. But yeah, feel free to submit your best photos, share it with us, and hopefully your photos will be able to inspire all of us in this photography community. Let's talk about gear, more taking pictures, more fun with photography. Anyway, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. If you want to support my work even further, consider joining my Patreon membership for exclusive contents, tutorials, Lightroom presets, and also being able to download my photos. And also use the affiliate links on the description below. Use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you, and I will see you guys on the next video. Goodbye.